You all are being asked to write a negative message in the indirect method. Again, just as you've read through these files this week, the indirect message is used when the audience is anticipating to hear good news, but you're going to break some bad news to them. You have to be a little more careful. The bad news is pushed back a little bit in the message. So after you've read through all the files this week, I just wanted to go over a sample right here. This is a sample negative message, so it's still pretty short, right? But these are, in my opinion, very challenging to write because they're short, but you have to be very careful with your tone. You don't want to offend the audience, even if you're frustrated in the situation. You have to come off as the professional, ethical communicator. So it has 4 parts. You start with a buffer, whether you want to thank them for appreciation, give them gratitude, share facts, share a common frustration, anything that you think is relevant to the task, to the scenario. A common thanks is always great. Common appreciation. You don't want to overdo it though, right? Keep it short. Keep the appreciation short. So the buffers first. I'm calling these paragraphs, but they're not even full paragraphs, right? They're so short. Quick little buffer of 2 sentences or so. Explanation before you lead to the bad news. Don't forget to kind of summarize what happened, what's going on in the situation. I wrote here about provide reasons that will lead to the bad news. What were some reasons that this person is angry? What are they frustrated about? In this sample, they're talking about the product being popular. It's overly popular. So they haven't shared the bad news yet. The audience doesn't know the bad news yet. So when you get to the 3rd paragraph, you've got to directly deliver the bad news. Here they're saying this unexpected increase in demand has resulted in a temporary out of stock back order situation. That's them directly saying, hey, your order will be back ordered. I like the word unfortunately. That's a great transition word to start this paragraph out and then deliver that bad news in 1 sentence. And then if you need to add, I would add 1 more sentence after that explains why that happened. Here's an example. Therefore, we were unable to refund your purchase. Therefore, unfortunately, a good transition word to start this paragraph so that you are clear and specific as possible that you're delivering that bad news. And you prep them with the buffer with some leading reasons that may have caused the bad news to happen. And then you get to paragraph 3 and you directly deliver that bad news. Unfortunately, we were unable to refund your purchase, or unfortunately, we will not be able to deliver it to you on the day promised, or unfortunately, you were not accepted into the program. Things like that all lead to the bad news. And you don't want to end there because it's a little harsh, right? It's a little blunt. It's a little too direct, right? So you got to close on some kind of positivity. Don't make promises you can't keep, of course. Don't avoid the word sorry because you're not at fault for the situation. So don't say sorry. But what do you want them to do next? What next steps? I think I put that here as well. What do you encourage the audience do next? What action should they take next? That's a good closing so they know what to do, right? So like, so what do I do? You just told me bad news. What do I do? Bad news does not have to be earth-shattering. These kind of messages are everywhere, but sometimes they are. But a lot of times it's just saying something happened and you can't fulfill their demands. So that's the negative message format using what we call the indirect method, where we deliver the bad news towards the end of the email instead of the beginning. Let me know if y'all have any questions.